Hello and welcome back to Tesla News. My name is Marian and I'm your host today, and I'm going to go into more details when we can expect a Model 3 coming in Grünheide in Germany. Despite the permit not being ready yet, we still can look forward what timeline we are looking into. But first we will look into the Model Y delivery time, which extended now to May 2022. And of course this makes sense because February was a month that we are into going right now, and a lot of ships are on the way to Europe, as I mentioned recently many times. And so May makes a lot of sense based on the production speed and what Shanghai is capable of. I would assume that with the shipping time included for the timeline May, that Tesla has currently around 8 weeks of a backlog for the Model Y long range when it comes to Europe. We do see here from Vuva, and thanks for him sharing and being able to bring this content here over the public holidays in China. We have the Chinese New Year as mentioned before, and we see the entire parking lot being empty, but the production is still going, but of course all the trucks waiting here for the freshly produced cars. So we can expect the production to go back up in the next few days, slowly coming back to normal. So this is nothing to be afraid of. Of course, the newspapers, the media might be again saying, well, there's no demand in February because no one is knowing that there's a Chinese New Year. So just get prepared for the news that there's a decline in sales. But here you have the information, you know it is Chinese New Year, and that is just a normal pattern in China for all the companies closing over that time. We will look into the Model 3 now. And you might say, well, Marian, you're crazy. The factory is not even open in Germany yet. Yes, that is true. But again, based on Elon Musk, he said we will produce the first cars in Germany by the end of the year. This happened in 2021. The test vehicles are continued to be produced. And of course the supply chain and the robots and everything that is needed to actually do a proper production, they are all tested, and that is good news. And so we look into Troy Tesla here. He took a earnings call from 2020, and we will look into that now more in detail. The Model Y has to reach a run rate of 400k per year. That is round about 7,700 cars per week. And if you remember, actually Elon Musk said something like that before as well when he was in Giga Berlin before. He was saying that they expect to go towards 5k and 10k, somewhere in between, over a period of 1 year. And now we have as well discussions here if they will use the same production line, as there are rumors that in China they are using one production line for the Model 3 and the Model Y. So we kind of have to see, because especially here in Grünheide, the building itself is not as big if you just take the pure size. And so I can expect Tesla maybe doing one production line for 2 models, and then they are just going to do 2 weeks Model 3, 2 weeks Model Y in that way. That could be efficient as well. But again, I think the Model 3 will be next year, meaning 2023. And why do I do this video? Because there are a lot of people in Germany asking, when is the Model 3 coming to Germany from Germany? And we have here Troy Tesla estimating, and you see that he is estimating Model 3 by Q3 2023. And you know that we are currently still in a way that we are not producing any cars yet in Q1 officially that can be sold. So it will be a really tough ride, but 67,000 cars was when Shanghai was switching to the second version, in this case the other way around, from Model 3 to Model Y. And so they took round about a year in Shanghai, and if they take here round about a year in Giga Berlin as well, once they are allowed to produce their cars, I do think that the ramp up could be similar to Shanghai. And this means that I don't expect the Model 3 being produced before Q3 next year. That is the earliest I expect it to be. So for everyone now, and especially in Germany, there are a lot of people saying, well, I'm going to wait for Model 3 from Germany. Well, you're going to wait for a very long time. And so for everyone from the European Union here that knows that they will be delivered from Grünheide, just stay patient. I would actually advise buy a car from China. It's good quality. And then once you know that the Model 3 is going to be produced in Germany, you still have time to resell your car. And of course, the weight line and the demand will be really good. Then looking into the automotive gross margins here, figures 31%, 17, 15, 10, 8. You see what the difference is all about. Ford at 8%. I mean, that is pretty much nothing. And I have read that Ford actually stopped at some places the production because of issues. So automotive gross margin, is actually a great result for Tesla, 31%, and Apple is the leader when it comes to benchmarks here. But of course it is phones, and they are able to really cheaply produce them in China with Foxconn, etc. So they have great margins here, great returns at around about like 42 to 45%. And so, of course, they do that as well over the price. And Tesla will be able to do that over the price in the short future as well, until there is more and more companies offering EVs. Of course, Tesla will have a big advantage compared to the others that you just saw, that they can be decreasing prices anytime they want without being hurt. I mean, if you look at Ford with 8% gross margins, just imagine Tesla could decrease the price by 8%, then they are by gross margins of like 22, 23%. And Ford, if they would have to battle down, they would be by 0. So again, you see the main advantage here of Tesla moving forward. And if they are moving to mid-30s at some point, that would be a game changer, because they could pretty much, based on gross margin, destroy any competitor out there, if it's VW, if it's anybody. And that is why Tesla is leading currently when it comes to production. It's not all about the model itself. Of course, people might like a model from a different company, different brand. That's all good. But again, guys, you can find more EV news in German on my Evolution channel. And of course, you can also find me in German on Tesla Supply for my podcast. I really appreciate you being here today, and I would be glad to have you back here very soon. Thank you.